Hi everybody. It's about 10:45 on what is this? Tuesday, the 16th of January, 2024. Now, we all saw the big news this morning. Yeah, Donald took the first place spot in the Iowa job interview. Ronnie DeSatan took number 2. No Brain Hellcat, Hellspawn took 3, and now she's over in New Hampshire. And I talked to some people in New Hampshire yesterday, and they're saying they're already sick and tired of all the adverts promoting No Brain Hellspawn. And just for pure, basically, how did they say it? Oversaturation and being such an annoyance, they're not going to go near her. They're all going towards Donald. So now we're finding out that Hellspawn is being funded by the DNC. It would not surprise me if she shows up here in Chicago next summer and is placed on the Democratic ticket. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Hellspawn, No Brain Hellspawn, may be on the Democratic ticket at the end of this upcoming summer. Scary thought. And of course, Swampy, he couldn't even get 10%. I mean, it's like he got between 7 and 8%. He realized that he's out of the running, so basically he bowed out and tossed all his support behind Donald. Now, it's yeah, we did see DeSatan, who's got number 2 with about 20%, throwing a temper tantrum because allegedly everybody trash talked him and threw everything possible but the kitchen sink at him. I go, well, he's an idiot. That's why I call him now DeSatan. And what is so funny is that on one of the mainstream media programs that were covering the Iowa job interview, I guess her name is Joy Reid, with a really bad bleached hair job, is saying that Iowa doesn't mean a thing because they're too white and too Christian. Talk about a racist bitch. Yeah. And I'm being nice. I could call her something else, but I'm not. I saved that for someone else. So, let's watch. And yeah, the people that I do know in New Hampshire, they are sick and tired of No Brain Hellspawn. And even though their governor, Sununu, whatever he is, they basically ignore him. But yeah, he was the lesser of several evils to be governor. Well, they are very pro-Donald, and it will not surprise me if Donald takes a clean sweep of New Hampshire also. So, yeah. Let's see. What else did I spot today? It's, yeah, the DNC. Yeah, I've got a solid gut feeling that they're gonna promote No Brain Hellspawn when they are here in the Chicago for their big convention, because they're really panicking because they bribed the Gen Z idiots with, forgiveness of financial aid loans, and they put up all this nonsense against Donald. So basically the Gen Z brats voted for Barry's third term just because it was a vote against Donald. Well, now these kids basically had their last couple of years of college trashed, and when they should have been starting their careers, they couldn't, all thanks to the Barry and his um world domination buddies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Barry's they're they're at the end. People have been waking up, and yeah, we know the meeting's going on in Davos right now, but they've got idiot face Blinken representing us, but we know mm, Blinken's an idiot. We know that. It's the Barry Blinken Biden triple threat to destroy America. And the Gen Z people are waking up that they got basically brainwashed and screwed over. So they're most likely are not going to get their vote. And everybody's having fits because, I mean, half of that squad, the pro-Iran, the followers of the Islamic Republic of Iran, what is it, Talib and Omar and Dumbo Delia Ramirez and that Squawk Box AOC, and yeah, the Corey Cunt Bush. And we can't forget about Dickwad Durbin, Tammy Duckworthless, Communist Castaway. Yeah. They're all just following Barry's lead in the destruction of America and trash talking our American military because we're in World War III. But Barry won't allow JoJo to publicly release it because that would be basically the end of allowing them to bring the invasion army. We're being invaded. We know that. And if they do finally admit that we're WW3, all local militia is going to start to put into encampments all these foreign nationals. There will be a mass concentration camps and they're going to intern all those foreign nationals and basically put up Gatling guns all over the north border of the Rio Grande. Yeah. So that's why they're not announcing it. And right now, Cyprus is dealing with a bunch of freaking idiots holding protests at the UK, the RAF base on the island of Cyprus. And the majority of the organizers look like they're over 40. So they're long-term communists. But they have all these young idiots that they've brainwashed. Those are the protesters. So they claim they're being in danger because of the airbase. Well, shut the heck up. Don't you think the people in Europe have been repeatedly attacked? Look at the nonsense that's gone on in the UK. And now the crap that's hitting here in the States. So, Cyprus, you have nothing to bitch about. Shut up, you little brainwashed bubbleheads. Oh, as for the bank of the Islamic Republic that wants world domination, their bank, Qatar, the country of Qatar, has stated no more tankers are going to go through the Red Sea to the Suez to provide oil, fuel, gas to Europe. Well, with this hitting it, Europe is going to have to wake up. Right now, it's like, yeah, Biden has been basically stealing from us to underwrite the Ukraine bullshit. And the EU is like totally happy with it because we're the ones underwriting it, because the EU hasn't coughed up any cash. And the EU is having fits because if Barry gets booted out, the EU is going to have to start with the cash flow. And they don't want to. They don't have it. Well, the best thing that can happen is that because Qatar has now cut off tankers from going around the Arabian Peninsula and up into like southern France and so forth, they're going to have major fuel shortages. So either A, they're going to have to admit that they're on the side of the Islamic Republic wanting world domination against everybody who's non-Muslim, or they're going to tell the Z guy to capitulate so they can get oil out of Russia. What is it going to be, boys? Hey, Klaus, have you made up your mind yet? Billy Gates? Do you know what you're talking about? Well, yeah, Billy Gates. Oh my gosh. He is now underwriting funding for the labs over at Oxford University for a new whatchamacallit that is for, they're calling it Disease X. It's really ironic that this is a second. They're basically telling us what they're going to do. Billy Gates is prepping up for the, hold on one second. Yeah, Billy Gates basically is funding the new whatchamacallit being developed at Oxford University, because we know that this is the job interview year and they need to create the same kind of situation as in 2020. They need to create another situation that forces people to stay at home so they can put into place their puppets. And part of this, and now what they're going to start targeting, because people are saying it was a complacency test, they're also tied tight with, like I've been saying, the Islamic Republic. And they're going to want to start getting rid of all non-Muslims. And I guess in China they already have mobile like trucks, vans that are mobile crematoriums. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. It's getting crazy. I mean, it's, people don't realize how bad it's getting worldwide. Even Nigeria, you know, the land of the scam artists, the guys that like to catfish older women. I mean, take a look at that stupid TV show, 90 Day Fiancé. There's one Nigerian dude who's been on it, what, at least 2 times, if not 3 by now, because he keeps going after 50+ women who are so insecure that they need a guy in their life, so they'll support some Nigerian asshole. Yeah, Nigeria is like having fits because of inflation. Well, part of it is that people here in the States are so broke that the catfishers can't make any money off of scamming people. Take a look. Haven't you noticed a decrease in those scam emails pertaining, I'm so-and-so and you need to send money to cover the cost so I can transfer the money to you? Yeah. Even the scammers realize that certain countries There's no more gullible people with disposable income. It's getting crazy. Because, yeah, these stupid people, I mean, right now it's even Poland is going batshit because they've got one guy as president, and then they've got someone who's at the other end of the spectrum as prime minister. And the prime minister basically shut down TV, radio, and newspapers. So he just destroyed any opportunity of free speech in Poland. Doesn't that remind you of something else that happened in the 1930s, 40s? I mean, hey, September of 39, Adolf's goons came into Poland and shut down everything. It's coming close because they're getting Poland prepped for, allegedly, for when the Z guy crosses into the Polish border to raid their supplies. But like I said, the EU is going to start running short of fuel unless they totally support the Islamic Republic that wants world domination. Now, even the Scandinavian Nordic countries, like Sweden and Denmark especially, Sweden is now having a fit because, you see, they let in all these Muslims, and of course they're very clannish, and they stay within their own areas, and they will refuse to assimilate. And now people are waking up in Sweden that they let in all these alleged refugees, and none of them will get a job. They won't learn. They will not learn the language, but they form their own little crime games, and they want the real Swedes to be their slaves, make money, provide for us. We're not going to do a darn thing. And the Swedish government is now having fits because Donald won the job interview yesterday. And because of that, it's, hey, when Donald was in charge, a lot of these countries didn't have any of this bullshit happening. And when he does get back in charge, he's going to ship all these idiots, this invading army, back to their country of origin. I mean, thank goodness it's like, yeah. Denmark had Queen Margrethe in charge, and she grew up knowing the stories of what happened during the 1930s and 40s firsthand. Well, yes, she retired early so her son, Frederick, and his wife Mary could be the head to run the country. Well, it's now being openly talked about that, yeah, Denmark has shut down their borders to all refugees because these Muslims refuse to assimilate. They prefer to live off the government benefits, take advantage of everything, and they go, we're going to do our own thing, and we don't care what your laws are in this country. We're going to live by our own Sharia law. And Denmark is basically saying, not happening. Close the borders to all these assholes coming in. They refuse to allow the invading army to go into Denmark. And they are basically giving a double middle finger salute to the EU because, one of the things they refuse to do is switch to the euro dollar. They've stayed with their own kronen. And when they do have a refugee come in, they have to turn over all valuables, like all their jewelry, because they think they can get away with it. Yeah, the Muslims, basically, they don't believe in banks, so they buy a lot of gold. And Denmark made them cough up all their jewelry except for the wedding rings. And that money was put in and the value was put into an account for that would pay for their government services. And I'm kind of lucky because one of my cousins, she married a guy who was a minister, and one of the things that happened to them after they got married, he was then sent to, of all places, Copenhagen, Denmark, for several years, and that's where all my cousin's kids were born, and I'm basically the same age as my cousin's kids, so I talked to the girls. And they said, yeah, we keep an eye on Denmark because that's where we were born and stuff. So we're basically American Danes. And they grew up speaking both American English and Danish. And they've maintained it because that's a way for them to talk in front of their kids without the kids knowing what they're talking about. Yeah, Americans speaking Danish in front of the kids. It's kind of funny. But she was telling me that it's like, yes, she does pop on the news from that comes out of Copenhagen. And yeah, the people are fed up. That's why they've shut the borders. And if they don't go to school, and they're being told your kids have to go to school to learning, and they will be taught exclusively in Danish. If your kids aren't going to school to learn Danish, it's like you guys are going to get flown back to your country of origin. And they are doing the right thing. And people in Denmark are fed up. Pretty soon they will be leaving the EU, according to what she's listened, heard, and told me. Now, it's funny because we know that they're part of it. They refuse to assimilate. They refuse to learn the language. And hey, that's how these people act. I mean, they're staying in their own little cloistered group here in the States. A lot of them want to stick together. Take a look at the North Africans coming in and the Chinese. Yeah, it's getting creepy. And now it's obvious that we are in WW3 because, you see, Iraq, even though it's a Shiite country, they don't like the extremism of what the Islamic Republic of Iran has been doing. Iraq, it's like, okay, women, the only time they need to be covered up is on Friday when they go to the mosque. Okay? Friday is their holy day. So that's the only time women really need to wear a hijab, cover their head, cover their hair, is on Fridays. That's like people here, they go to Sunday church, they wear a hat. Yeah. So that's why that's the only time that women are strongly urged to wear a hijab. And the Iraqis, yeah, they don't like this extreme stuff. And they are basically quietly supporting the Sunnis, the people from Egypt, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia. So, because they're not tolling the Shiite way of thinking of Sharia law and world domination, Iran has been shooting missiles into the country of Iraq. And yeah, they're aiming for all buildings that belong to the government of Israel. So it's not good. It's not good because yeah, Iran and yeah, with their Hezbollah and Hamas groups, they're going to go, not only are they're going after Israel because they hate the Jews, well, they hate everyone who's non-Muslim, but they're also going to go after the Iraqis because the Iraqis aren't following their extreme Sharia law. And I do have some friends that are Iraqi, and they tell me what's going on. It's all because people are fed up. This Islamic Republic wants to be the global ruler. And what's sick is these idiots in these dumbos at Davos don't realize that they've unleashed a monster onto the world. I mean, it's like these stupid idiots that put Barry in for his third term. I mean, one of the first things they did, well, we know Barry's a Muslim. Barry turned over all the military supplies that were left in Afghanistan. And one thing that we did lose, a dozen or so members of our armed forces within that pullout from Afghanistan. I mean, we did have several new Gold Star families created. Gold Star is when a family loses a child during active military service. And Donald has gotten to know and has talked personally to all the families, to all the new Gold Star families created because of Barry and his crap ass turnover of the Afghanistan to the Taliban, basically the Islamic Republic. And but those families, they haven't heard one word boo from any of their Democrat senators or congresspeople, least of all the White House. And of course, no brain hellspawn hasn't talked to him, neither did Swampy, and neither has D. Satan, only Donald. And that says a lot. That says a hell of a lot. So, I mean, it's we've got so many idiots out there. I mean, we've got the idiots who think Donald are still saying that Donald is horrible, and because he has no tolerance for this pronoun crap and these brainwashed bobbleheads created by Barry. And even other countries are now starting to say, no, this CRT crap that you have brainwashed the kids in grade schools with, Japan is saying, nope, ain't happening. Because they're trying it in Japan, saying, oh, anyone who doesn't speak Japanese is discriminated against. Duh, you move to the country, you learn the language. I mean, while going through this, a memory popped in. It was back when I was in high school. And I had a teacher that basically, I would definitely say she's follows Barry religiously. And we were doing something, and I asked her, why is it every time there's a major war, there's, in modern day history, why is it always a Democratic president in office? And they said, oh, well, they make better presidents during wartime. I'm like, what a fool. No, you want someone who's going to keep us out of war. We don't want a guy who's going to help instigate one. FDR, remember, 4 terms elected, and he was a Democrat. And now we've got Barry going for his 4th term. And it's crazy, but yeah. And the other big thing hitting the fan, and this started, a week or so ago, about Henry getting this stupid award by the Celebrity Pilots Association. Oh, yeah, it's now coming out that, yeah, they paid for it, and the joke now is, H can fly, but he can't fly, but he can lie. And I'm laughing about that. And I heard one thing about it, and let's just see what Friday brings. Even Mike Tyndall, who we see, who is, hey, he was well known in his own right before he married into the family, has basically come out and said he can be the spokesperson for the family. And he did admit on his program That no one has ever seen those kids. Yeah, Mikey Tyndall and son-in-law is letting the people know, letting the world know that no one in his in-laws family, no one in the big family has ever laid eyes on any of those kids, on either one of those kids. And now that the new book about Charles, his move into being king, is out there, and it's revealing a few things, especially something that the Queen QE2 mentioned when she found out the name of the kid, alleged kid. She goes, I don't own anything except my name. And that was her nickname, her pet name. That happened because she couldn't say her name correctly, and how it came out, her grandfather was like, oh, okay, that was the pet name. That was started by her grandfather. And only close family used it. And here, that grandson and his spouse they literally went out and copyrighted the name before the child was even born. The copyright took place maybe when allegedly she was maybe 2 to 3 months pregnant. The only way you would know the sex of a child that early is if it's done in a petri dish. So soon as they knew that that egg was viable in somebody else's uterus, they copyrighted the name. That's how nasty. That's coming to light. But on the good side, they did release the new portrait of Charles, formal portrait that will be probably hung up next to the picture of his mother. And instead of the whole coronation regalia, he was in, I guess, the uniform of his admiralty uniform with all his medals and honors and all that stuff. And it looks good. It really does. And someone said if you're able to get a good image, take a look at the formal portraits on the walls, because the photo was taken at Windsor Castle. And you're going to see, I guess, a painting of his mother, of his grandfather, great-grandfather. His picture portrait was taken in the formal portrait gallery. So it's kind of like honoring his mom and grandfather and great-grandfather. So I think that was a very, very polite way to, great staging. So yeah, this is what I've got for you today. It's keep your eyes open. I'm sorry it sounds so repetitive, but the big things, yeah, are this is job interview year here in the States. The demon quacks are going to be making utter fools of themselves. They already are. I mean, Joy Reid for saying Iowa is too white, too Christian. Maybe you should let your hair go back natural instead of that really bad straight perm and bleach job. I think that's cultural appropriation. Yeah, my hair's curly because it's like, yeah, I have Ashkenazi genetics. Yeah, kind of curly hair. Take a look at Amy Irving. We do have curly hair, but it's not that frizzy curl. So, yeah, everyone have a great evening tonight. And next video goes up on Thursday. Have a good one. Yeah, today's the 16th. Next video is Thursday the 18th. Catch you later. Bye-bye.